Now on 767 News, motorists need to ensure vehicles are properly maintained, says ASP Claude Wicks. Emzal and Bath Estate housing projects ready by mid-June, and Petit Savan Primary School wins Literacy Prize 2015. In sports, Westmar Rangers hold successful athletics meet. Welcome to 767 News. I'm Alicia George. Join me for the latest stories and updates after this break.
Count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. For every $9 spent on Big 4, you get a raffle ticket to enter our weekly draws to win $4,000 cash every Thursday for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every Thursday. That's $24,000 in cash. So play Big 4, count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. Only from the Dominica National Lottery. Promotion starts from February 24th to April 2nd.
Welcome back. In tonight's newscast, motorists are being called upon to ensure their vehicles are properly maintained, which will aid in the prevention of accidents. This is according to Police Public Relations Officer ASP Claude Wicks, following an accident on Monday, May 4th, where a brake failure led to a vehicular rollover.
Somewhere about 3 p.m., pickup truck or van coming from the valley. It is reported that they were coming from the freshwater lake, and having arrived on a particular spot on the Fokani public road, the vehicle flipped and turned over. According to the driver, he seemed to have lost his brakes, so the brakes were not very functional, and as such lost control, and the vehicle overturned.
ASP Wicks said all passengers on the vehicle were injured as a result of the rollover. They were transported to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where 3 who suffered neck and head injuries were admitted, while the others were treated and discharged.
It's important as well that we have a good appreciation of the competency of our vehicle. If the brakes are working, the oil, we have to check the vehicles. We have to know our vehicles. It can help us as well in our decision making as we drive, you know, tires, lights, and so on. So there are many things I am of the view that we take for granted with respect to our driving activities on the public roads in Dominica. I must hasten to say that we have better roads. You would agree. We have better roads. We can traverse from one point to the other in the jurisdiction in Dominica within a reasonable time.
Meanwhile, ASP Wicks said one man is currently a patient at the PMH following a vehicular accident on the Taru Highway late afternoon on Sunday, May 3rd, involving a Subaru Forester and a motor scooter.
It is reported as well that the rider has been admitted to the Princess Margaret Hospital. So over the period of time, and we're talking about less than 2 weeks, we can say inside of 10 days, we've seen a number of traffic collisions resulting in serious injuries, and one of them we saw had noticed has since died. In fact, we had the one in the Mahu area where Mr. Aaron Victor was going to his home as well in the late night, small hours of the morning, and he also succumbed to injuries. Indeed, it is cause for concern. I mean, inside of this period that I have just mentioned, where I had 4 road fatalities.
ASP Wicks said this upsurge in vehicular accidents is a concern for the police. Investigations into these 2 and other accidents are ongoing. And the long-awaited housing complex in Bath Estate and Emzal is nearing completion, with just a few more minor details being added at present. This is according to the Minister of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, Honorable Reginald Ostry, who spoke to 767 News Team on Wednesday.
Bath State is basically complete. I was there just quite recently. They're now paving the yards and doing the landscaping. Electricity and water is already on site. So Bath State is basically ready. Emsall was always a little bit behind, but as I understand it should be ready by somewhere around the middle of June.
Minister Ostry said this project came about as a solution for the young public servants and single parents who struggle with the high cost of rent available in the city, especially to those who reside out of town.
We were looking at the cost of rent in and around Roseau, and a number of young public officers in particular who were basically from the country and having to pay high rents. And we as a government felt that we should do something to assist these people. And so we decided to enter that project with that category of persons in mind, single parents who were under heavy rent, who were living outside of the Roseau area. That was the original concept. It was developed around that basis.
Ostry said the Ministry of Housing has so far received near 900 applications from individuals requesting these apartments. He said this number of applicants has given the government an insight into the present state of the housing situation in Dominica.
It gives us an idea as to what the housing situation in the country is based on the number of applicants you have applying. So we know that out of the 900 applications you already have, we know that only 60 families can benefit. It means that the other 840, there is still a housing shortage based on just that project of 840 applicants. Now, based on the application process, it also tells you the employment status of these people, whether employed or unemployed, where they're employed, and their salary range. And what that can do, it can guide government's policy on housing, because we know it will tell us what type of housing is required, what level of housing is required, what kind of investments that we have to continue to make in the housing sector.
The apartment complex in Bath Estate consists of 12 two-bedroom apartments and 12 three-bedroom apartments, while the complex in Emsall consists of 18 two-bedroom apartments and 18 three-bedroom apartments. In more stories, recognizing the passion and dedication of the school staff and students to literacy and the creation of a vibrant school library, the Petit Savant Primary School was on Wednesday, May 6, awarded the 2014-2015 Hands Across the Sea Literacy Award for Dominica. The school earned a prize of US $1,000 in brand new books of the school's choice. Hands Across the Sea first assisted Petit Savant Primary with a shipment of 800 books for the 2011-2012 school year and followed with 500 books for the 2012-2013 school year. Hands Across the Sea's co-founder and executive director, Harriet Linsky, said improved literacy skills opens the door to a better life. Linsky said principal of the Petit Savant Primary, Oliver Samuel, and his staff are indeed demonstrating a strong commitment to promoting reading.
Our goal at Hands Across the Sea is to improve children's literacy in Dominica and across the OECS, and we do that in 3 ways. We like to send really great books from about 20 different children's publishers to schools that have borrowing libraries or will set up a borrowing library, and then we foster sustainability of that library with ongoing support and determining what needs are requested by the students for their books. So that is our goal.
Hands Across the Sea, founded in 2007, has served 10,020 children at 77 Dominica primary school and secondary schools and reading programs since 2008, sending a total of 42,480 new and near new books. As part of each year's Hands Wish lists, educators specify the types of books most needed for their school. Hands Across the Sea's co-founder Tom Linsky said their dream is that every primary and secondary school in Dominica have a first-class lending library filled with new books that have been requested by each school's directors.
We believe that to get children hooked on reading, you have to put new, exciting, insanely great books in their hands. And that's what we do, because Hands Across the Sea sends only new books from the world's best children's and educational publishers. We also believe that these rejuvenated school libraries need guidance to come into being, and they need support and monitoring to be sustained year after year.
Hands Across the Sea is dedicated to raising the literacy levels of Eastern Caribbean children on the islands of Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Grenada. Since its founding in 2007, the program has shipped over 173,000 books to the region through its Caribbean Literacy and School Support Class program. Moving along, in an effort to increase awareness of infection control and hand hygiene, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the staff of Princess Margaret Hospital on Tuesday, recognized Hand Hygiene Day with a ceremony where staff were recognized for their good hygiene practices. Staff nurse with duties of infection prevention control, Nurse Joanna Laura Blez, said World Hand Hygiene Day is a yearly effort by the World Health Organization, WHO, to encourage healthcare workers, patients, and their families to practice good hand hygiene.
According to WHO, every year, hundreds and millions of patients around the world are affected by healthcare associated infections. More than half of this infection could be prevented by healthcare workers by cleaning their hands at key moments in patient care. Hand hygiene is the act of cleaning one's hands with or without the use of water or any liquid, or with the use of soap for the purpose of removing soil, dirt, and other microorganisms.
Blaise also said that good hand hygiene practices are not only beneficial to healthcare workers and patients, but also to food handlers and the general public, where the environment is vulnerable to viruses.
Hand hygiene is especially important for people who handle food, so not just healthcare workers, and that's why we incorporated the district as well in the community. But it is also important to practice good hand hygiene in the general public. People can become infected with respiratory illnesses such as influenza or the common flu.
She also stated that the staff on the various wards at the Princess Margaret Hospital were involved in hand hygiene activities, where hygiene practices were monitored throughout patient care on each ward.
The staff from Infection Prevention Control and Quality Control assessed the staff on the proper hand hygiene techniques. The hand hygiene steps have been arranged in a form of a hand washing competent checklist, and we used it to assess the staff by performing clinical activities or tasks directly related to 5 moments of hand hygiene.
A number of nurses received tokens of appreciation for their participation in the hand hygiene activities. This year's recognition of World Hand Hygiene Day was celebrated under the theme Clean Hands, Safer Care. Up next, Nehemiah Comprehensive School graduates urged to persevere to achieve success. An infrastructural altercation set back construction of new hospital. Crystal Dura is Miss Mayfair's 2015. More details when 767 News returns.
Hello? Listen, you have to call me back because I'm going to cross the street. Okay, bye.
Be smart. Don't use cell phones while crossing the street. Be safe. Use the pedestrian crossing. A message brought to you by the Violence and Injury Surveillance System Committee in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization.
I love family traditions, don't you? The fun you have when you're all together, preparing a meal that you'll all enjoy. Having the right kitchen appliances help bring it all together, and you can find them at Quartz. Appliances that give you more, fridges that keep food fresher, stoves that cook meals better. At Quartz, you get the world's best brands at the best prices. I love that, and you will too. For small and large kitchen appliances, Quartz, bringing value home.
Thank you for staying with us. 6 students who graduated from the Nehemiah Comprehensive NECS on Friday have been urged to persevere to achieve success. This positive advice came from featured speaker of the graduation, Paul Moses, who centered his speech on the graduating class's theme entitled Perseverance Equals Success.
Most people, if not all of them, desire the trinkets of success. That is, the trips around the world, a fancy car, a mansion, the latest cell phones, iPods, iPads, or tablets. but few indeed truly desire to trudge along the highway of success. Few indeed they are who wish to apply the formula that takes one there. Graduates, perseverance demands effort. It connotes perspiration, a symbol of hard work. Not many are prepared to perspire.
Moses said not many individuals are prepared to persevere, as this attribute is shunned by many. He said many desire the success, however, they are not prepared to work towards it.
They simply want the trinkets of success to be poured at their feet. Since this is an illusion for most, some seek illicit ways to acquire them. Graduates, be warned if you are so disposed, if you are so tempted. Proverbs 13:11 admonishes, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase.
Moses added, for success to be sustainable, lasting, or permanent, one must persevere at hard work. Meanwhile, manager of the Nehemiah Comprehensive School, Rhoda George, advised the students that they have the knowledge to succeed.
There is this saying that what the mind of a man can conceive and believe, the man can achieve. And it is all in your mind. You can make it and do extremely well after you leave here if you condition your mind to do well. Let nobody stop you. Whenever you have opposition, you stand strong. And the Bible says that if you walk right, if you seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, then all of this will be added to you.
George said if the Dominican youth seeks first the kingdom of God, there will be a significant improvement in society, which is currently plagued with negativity. The NECS graduating class of 2015 comprised of 5 young men and 1 young lady in the persons of Franz Brutus, Milroy Forbert, Joshua Michael, Francia Brutus, Maxime Forbert, and Shane Seraphine. In more stories, construction work on a state-of-the-art General Hospital promised by the government of Dominica to begin in the first quarter of 2015 has had some setbacks. The state-of-the-art Princess Margaret Hospital is commissioned to the Chinese government and is expected to change healthcare in Dominica. Minister for Health and Environment, Honorable Kenneth Taru, said at a press conference today, Wednesday, that as the new minister, he recognized that critical changes were needed to be made to the hospital's original architectural plan to better serve staff and patients at the anticipated new facility.
After reviewing all the documents, added the project brief, as it's called, the project folder, we felt that there were certain changes, additions, that was critical, okay, to a new hospital that, yes, was probably mentioned during discussions with our Chinese friends, but somehow that they were not, that they got lost somehow. We've communicated to them as to some of the changes or additions we felt were necessary for this new hospital to be fully functional. We living in 2015, people. They've gotten back to us as to their suggestions as to, yes, this can be done, as to, yes, this can be done, but in such a way. And right now, we're in the process of reviewing.
Some of these changes include increased space for the pharmacy and infection control areas, a designated area for the information unit, maximum functionality of wards, and strategic locations of exits and entrances, among others. Meanwhile, plans to construct a new hospital at Marigot are still on the table, but with the government's intention to construct a new main hospital, Minister Daru said plans also have been pushed back.
A new hospital for Marigot is to be built for a number of reasons. The main one, of course, being the location. the current airport, and even the proposed sites is going to be in that part of the new airport, is going to be in that part of the country. So a new hospital for Marigot is still on the cards. However, of course, with the advent of the new PMH, you would understand the logistical nightmare that would create in terms of delivery of services, of trying to build a main hospital and hospital at Marigot at the very same time.
The government is still plagued with the decision of whether or not the hospital in Marigot should be relocated or remain on the same site. In the meantime, the hospital remains open, but not for admission of patients. The Portsmouth Hospital will also be renovated and improved for better quality care, according to the Health Minister. And in more stories, Christelle Durant, 20 of Castle Bruce, was crowned Miss Mayfest 2015 on Saturday, May 2nd, after much deliberation by the judges. Durant beat 5 other competitors to claim the title at the Marigot Fisheries Complex, where she received the awards for Best Talent, Best Creative Wear, and Miss Intelligent. An overwhelmed Durant spoke with 767 News after the competition.
I feel ecstatic, I am tired, I am happy, I feel all sorts of feelings right now. I don't know what to say, I am so excited. I just want to say thank you to my team, Team Chrissy, thank you to my chaperone, all the persons who assisted me financially, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It is so amazing to have won Miss Mayfest 2015. Yes, I will be going up for the National Carnival Queen, maybe in the next 2 years. With good planning and preparation, you never know, I can be Miss Dominica.
Xavier Joseph, 17 of the Kalinago territory, secured the first runner-up position and copped the awards for Best Evening Wear, Best In-Evening Wear, and Best Swimwear. Meanwhile, second runner-up position went to Nakisha Joseph of Wesley. Candace Simon of Marigot grabbed the third runner-up spot, while Aquinel Victorine, 20 of Goodwill, won the award for Miss Photogenic, and Kimberly Pioche, 18 of Calibishi, won the Miss Congeniality Award. The Miss Mayfest pageant is organized every year by the Marigot Development Corporation and is in its 9th year of operation. And that's it for local news. The latest in sports is coming up next with Larry, so stay tuned.
Let's see how easy it is to play Powerball and win. Simply select 4 numbers from 1 to 30 and a Power Pick number from 1 to 5, and that's it. You have just selected your winning numbers for Powerball, or just get a quick pick and let the machine select your lucky numbers for you. Remember, Powerball is drawn every Wednesday and Saturday from 9 p.m. Powerball from the Dominica National Lottery.
Have some fun, enjoy yourself. Come on.
It's my time, it's your time, it's our time. Another exciting local show comes to your screen on Digicel Play TV Channel 3. When? Every Thursday from 9 p.m. Join host JL Joseph with stimulating chit-chat about what's up, what's on, music, entertainment, arts and craft, and much more. We'll talk business, leisure, holidays, and family, all to engage our viewers on various aspects of life. Join us for Our Time, where we talk about absolutely everything, right here on Digicel Play TV.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we begin with football. Buster Warner edged out White River Ballers 2-1 on Tuesday evening in the Dominica Football Association's All-Island League at the Baffin State Playing Field. Shalon Pierre and Erwin Bruno scored for Warner, while Shane Prentice scored for Ballers. The league continued earlier this evening with a match between Trafalgar FC and Castle Bruce at the Baffin State Playing Field. In athletics, the third edition of the Westmar Invitational Athletics Meet came to a successful end on Sunday, May 3rd at the Leo Park Playing Field in Marigot. 5 clubs turned out with a very good showing from primary school students of the district. Athens Athletics Club, Aspirers Athletics Club, Pioneers Athletics Club, Corn Westmar Knights Athletics Club, and Westmar Rangers Athletics Club. There were competition in 42 individual events and 10 relay races during an exciting day of competition. In cricket, a number of cricket festivals were staged during the month of April due to a collaboration between the West Indies Cricket Board, WICB, and the Dominica Cricket Association, DCA, in addition to Scotiabank, who have been hosting kiddie cricket festivals around the island. On the 18th of April, festivals were conducted at the Thibaut Gardens and the Rivière Cyric playing field, which resulted in 4 schools stopping the games. On the 25th of April, 3 festivals took place at the Mao, Soufriere, and Jolly John playing fields, where 4 schools were chosen. These 8 schools will be competing at the 2015 Kiddie Cricket Festival Finals, scheduled for May 9th at the Dubla playing field. This event will begin at 10 a.m., where the best school will win the prize of 2015 WICB Kiddie Cricket Festival champions. Other prizes will go towards the runner-up, most disciplined school, most improved school, best bowler, best batter, and best fielder. And in volleyball, St. Lucia women's team secured the Eastern Caribbean Volleyball Association ECVA tournament with a win over Antigua and Barbuda at the Castaways Beach at the weekend. French and Martin finished in the 3rd position. During the golden set between the A teams, Valerie Damaso of French and Martin was unable to continue because of a minor injury, thereby giving the win to St. Lucia 10-15 and the final score 2-1. At the time of the injury, St. Lucia led 11-10. St. Lucia, along with Antigua and Barbuda, French and Martin, St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, and Grenada will face the Caribbean Zonal Volleyball Association's CAZOVA's top 6 in the next round of the Norseca Beach Volleyball Continental Cup. And that's it for tonight's Sportscast. Tune in again tomorrow for more sports.
That was Larry with the latest in sports. Now for a recap of tonight's headline stories. Motorists need to ensure vehicles are properly maintained, says ASP Claude Wicks. Emsall and Bath Estate Housing Projects ready by mid-June, and Petit Savan Primary School wins Literacy Prize. In sports, Westmar Rangers host successful athletics meet. And that's all the time we have for tonight. Until tomorrow, drop us an email at media@767news.dm. Friend us on Facebook, and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I'm Alicia George, wishing you a wonderful evening, and thanks for watching.